Hi, beautiful people. In today's podcast, we're going to discuss about mental clutter, and we're going to describe it, and we're also going to discuss a few strategies we can adopt so that we have a mindset which operates at an optimum level. All right. Before we actually try to describe what mental clutter is, we should know that on a given day, on average, we've got around 60,000 to 80,000 thoughts. Okay, so that's the number of thoughts we have per day. 60K up to 80K, and that's a lot. All right. And not all the thoughts are actually beneficial to us. They will consist of positive thoughts, negative thoughts, thoughts about self-harm, and a wide variety of thoughts, all right? So with all these thoughts, if you actually have thoughts which contradict each other, we end up having not a good cocktail for the mind, all right? And that's why we have people who are stressed and people who are depressed, because they are actually dealing with thoughts which are affecting them in a very negative way. All right. So what is a cluttered mind? A cluttered mind is a mind which has a confused thought process. Okay. A mind which can't operate in a calm, focused, and productive way. All right. I think that's a very important word here. Productive mindset. I always talk about having a growth mindset, about having a positive mindset. So we should have thoughts which actually contribute to our lives in a positive way, in a productive way. That's why we're talking about it right now. All right? So a confused thought process will actually result in confused actions. And when you have confused actions, you can't build momentum because the actions are not leading you towards one goal. All right? Whether or not you have a goal, that's something else. So no momentum and a lack of direction actually results in having a lack of energy, because your actions are not thought through. They're confused. So when you have confused thoughts, they lead to confused actions, and these confused actions actually don't bring results. And now when it doesn't bring results to you, you feel really bad, so that creates a lack of energy, which results in a lack of confidence. And then the dangerous thing is we end up having a mindset which can be easily swayed by opinions, circumstances. So we actually end up having a mindset whereby we're leaving our destiny to randomness, luck, or external factors, and that's one of the most dangerous things, when you actually think that, okay, it's up to destiny, we'll see where we go, what life will bring. Because the moment you do that, you're actually giving up control on your life, and that's the most dangerous thing you can do. When you leave things to luck, or you leave things to people in your surroundings, when you don't take responsibility. All right. So that we've given a good description of what mental clutter is and what kind of hell it actually creates. All right. So let's now talk about a few strategies we could use. So I'm going to give you a few practical things which I think work, because I use them myself. It doesn't mean that all of them will work for you. So you just choose which ones actually make sense to you, and then you try to adopt them, all right? So let's go. The first one is actually trying to declutter your physical space, all right? If we look at traditional Zen type way of approaching spirituality or enlightenment, you will notice that in Zen monasteries, we had monks who were actually sweeping the floor and cleaning. It was part of the practice. And the reason why this was part of the practice was that actually when you do something physical and you clean, it helps to calm down the mind as well. So if you want to calm down the mind, cleaning is one thing you can do. So it could be cleaning the house, cleaning your office, putting order in your paperwork. It should be something physical you do. It could be gardening, in fact, all right, taking care of your flowers. So cleaning is actually something important when it comes to the mind. It's something physical you can do, and it automatically calms down the body, all right? So to declutter your physical space will actually bring a certain sense of calmness to you. So that's one thing. The second thing you could do is writing in a journal. All right, it's something I do every day, and it helps a lot. Because if you have a confused thought process, all right, it's hard to actually figure out mentally what's troubling you. But actually, when you start, writing these things down on paper, you won't realize some of the things that come out when you actually start to write. So journaling and writing on paper is something crucial, very important, I would say, and something I do every day. And even when I set goals or I write what are the things that went wrong, what are the things I need to look into, it helps a lot. So journaling is something to do. Now, I'm going to help you a bit with that. What are the things that you could write in your journal? So I would suggest you have 3 categories. There could be 3 different sections in your journal or 3 different pages, depending on how much you've got to write. And in one section, you're going to write about the things that you're worried about. Anything that comes to your mind, you just write them down. Okay, doesn't need to make sense, doesn't need to sound intelligent, because it's your personal journal. You're not going to share it with someone. So you just write down everything that worries you. All right? Just write down, and then you'll start to see certain patterns. And you actually start to see what are the things that are actually preventing you to reach your next level. Okay? So write down things that you're worried about. That's one category. In the second category, you're going to write about the plans, the action plans that you're going to stick to, that you're going to implement to achieve an important goal. So what are your action plans? You can't just be having a goal and then there's no action plan. So once again, whatever comes to your mind, whatever crazy ideas or dumb ideas you think they are, just write them down. And then you can be selective afterwards and then choose the ones which you think will work out. So the first category was things that you're worried about. The second one is plans. What are your plans for achieving an important goal? And the third one is a personal one. It's about the concerns you have about a relationship that's drowning your energy. Okay? So think about the concerns you have about a relationship that's drowning your energy, and so on. So one toxic relationship or toxic relationships you could be having at work, in your personal life, your friends, close relative, you would know. So you write these things down, and venting out and writing on paper helps a lot to calm yourself down, and you actually realize what are the things that block in your path. And you can come up with actions to actually overcome those things, all right? So we've talked about how to declutter the physical space. We've talked about having a journal. The next one is going to be about letting go of the past, all right? It's good to learn lessons from the past, but leaving the past in the head or overthinking the future, that's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. And actually, you could be doing so many important things instead of thinking about the past. For example, you could be planning. You could be coming up with action plans about what you can do to improve your life. So instead of focusing on the things that didn't work out, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's very important to get lessons from the past, but dwelling in the past won't help you at all right? So you need to let go of the past, all right? And the last one I'm going to give you is you need to limit the amount of information going in, all right? And when I say that, I'm thinking about social media, what you're reading on social media. Are you wasting time? Are you consuming junk information? So you need to really be careful about the things you're reading, the things you're listening, the kind of people you're meeting. All right. You should be really selective about the information that you're taking on. All right. So my suggestion would be to really limit the time on social media, to unsubscribe from things that are not contributing to your life. Okay, I would say even unsubscribe from certain people. And the third thing would be the opinions of people. I always say that the opinions of people slow you down. It's very important to have feedback, but we actually give too much importance to the opinions of people, and that slows us down because we could actually be hitting our next level and doing things instead of thinking about the opinions of the people. Because I always say it, the people don't know you as much as you know yourself. So the opinions of people are not something that you should consider. All right. So I think I'm going to leave you with that today. And in the next podcast, I'm going to talk about a few more strategies. And I'm going to actually give you a gift in the next one, because I'm actually going to prepare an exercise, like a worksheet, which will take like 2 or 3 weeks or even a month to finish. And we're going to go into detail. I'm going to come up with 7 questions, which you're going to write down in your personal diary. I'm going to guide you through each one. And answering them will actually help you to come up with an action plan for the next new year, which is 2020. All right. So I had lots of fun to talk to you today, and I hope that it helped you. I mean, that's the reason of creating this podcast. I never know who can actually listen to it and actually have that person on a given day and get inspired to do something. Okay. See you soon. Bye-bye. Lots of love. Girish.